was that?
Welcome, everybody, to the Grizzled Geek Podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Doug.
And we're here. This is the Grizzled Geek Podcast. We are your daddy's podcast. We are the Long in the Tooth podcast. If we had Wakandan names, we'd be like Grey Wolf and Back Pain or something like that. We're old is what I'm trying to say. But with that age, what we lack in youth, we make up for. Okay, I was going to say wisdom, but not really. Knowledge. And we're about to drop some knowledge on you guys, some geek knowledge, guys. Like we do every week, we bring you the latest geek news, nerd news. Nerd news sounds better, doesn't it?
Sure.
The alliteration. That's
nerd news.
Nerd news. Guys, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all of the people out there in podcast land, as I like to call it, on all the different various podcast platforms. Joining us, guys, and for those of you watching on YouTube, we appreciate it. The YouTube, there's been quite a few of you. We've been growing quite a bit on this channel recently. We just hit a 1 million lifetime views.
Cool. Yep.
And then, we've actually been growing up on our other channel, which is our gaming channel, the Grizzled War Master. Doug's been putting in all the work over there. But yeah, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. Doug, what have you been up to recently?
Building a ton of Necrons over here.
Nice.
Right here. So
right in the background there.
40 warriors, bunch of characters, some snipers. Yeah, tons of stuff.
Toy soldiers for adults, guys.
Yep.
And as you guys can see, I've recently moved. I'm no longer in the world famous Grizzled Geek Studios. I'm now here with a plain old blinds behind me.
The alley behind the studio.
I'm hoping to spruce this up a little bit here. Maybe put a green screen up. Take a picture of something cool and put it up there. But we'll see how it goes. All right. Exciting stuff, guys. We got some news for you. Let's see here. Doug's going to kick us off this week with our...
Yeah, some Book of Bobba Fett news.
Woo!
News is starting to come out about the new series premiering this Christmas. It'll focus on Boba and Fennec Shan, but it is confirmed that Mando will appear as well.
Din Djarin himself.
Yeah, Din Djarin will be there. Sources say other familiar characters will appear as well, including Grief Karga, Carl Weathers, Migs Mayfield, played by Bill Burr, and Cobb Vanth, played by Timothy Oliphant.
That'll be interesting.
That'll be cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, Cobb Vanth makes sense since they're both on Tatooine. Mm-hmm. How Mayfeld will get there. I mean, presumably they're not going to just stay in Jabba's palace or now Boba's palace.
Well, yeah, exactly.
They'll be doing some other stuff. But in related news, The Mandalorian, which has been pushed to 2022, has removed its premiere date as it is still figuring out a post Gina Carano fix. If are they going to introduce a new character?
Yeah, from what I understand, she played. Favreau planned on her playing a major role in season 3, so pretty much it's almost like it's not something they can like plug and play like they did with. I guess they could with Ahsoka. I guess. Yeah.
They're saying that the Ahsoka won't be affected as much because her involvement was relatively minor, and they just replaced her with another lore character.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben.
Ben, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I mean, she was quick. They could like plug and play. Pull it out to somewhere else, but apparently she was a major factor in a couple projects, including the, they got to do a complete overhaul on the Rangers of the New Republic.
Yeah, Rangers of the New Republic.
And apparently she played big time into that. So Favreau basically had to go back to the drawing board with what his plans were for season 3. And so that's, kind of pushed that off even further. So
give Sasha Banks some more screen time.
Yeah.
Because we assume that the Mandalorians are going to be a big part of it. So
yeah.
hopefully they would get some screen time there.
Yeah. I don't know, or more of Bo-Katan, although I don't know how happy Disney is with Katie Sackhoff right now. She kind of, she didn't come, she basically in an interview was saying about how the season finale, came naturally, how it wasn't like forced, all the women came together because they're the right ones for the jobs, right? It wasn't like a, forced diversity or whatever it was. So it felt natural. And if you don't focus on it, it's they were the right people for the job. So she was actually, commenting about why it worked so well in that last season. So, which I guess apparently ruffled some feathers. I mean, I listened to the interview, and it was a long interview, but I don't think she said anything like controversial, I guess, or that should be controversial, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, except for who she's taking a dig at with that comment is in the same wheelhouse. So
yeah, that is true. But there's a ton of Star Wars rumors out there right now about what's going on behind the scenes at Lucasfilm, right? Yeah. But it all seems to be pointing that Kathleen Kennedy is, I don't know. You hear about all these rumors and about all this stuff going on in the background in the infighting, and then they came out with that statement the other day where there was basically Kathleen Kennedy basically saying that Kathleen Kennedy, there's no fighting going on in the background. Kathleen Kennedy likes Jon Favreau. They're good friends, and in fact, she wants him to replace her whenever she eventually retires or gets promoted, is what the statement said. And we're like, and it was like, that doesn't sound like anything we've heard in the past. But it could be them if she is kind of getting pushed out, which her contract's up this summer, right? That could be
sometime. It might be September. I can't remember.
That could be the saving face moment where she's like, I want him to replace me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'll do my 2 cents for where we are, where other people are. Mm-hmm. I have found that the vast majority of Star Wars rumor channels pretty much just make crap up.
Yeah, quite a few.
Quite a few of them just say whatever random rumors they've heard. They don't source any of it and never retract anything when it comes out. It doesn't come out. Right. Like there's a few channels that are like, oh, it's imminent that she's on her way out, or blah, blah, this is happening.
Right.
And then it never comes out. And then they just keep coming up with new and new rumors. Like, where do you come up with this crap?
The only ones I really like listen to I listen to all of them, but I mean, the only ones I put any stock into is either Doomcock, Overlord Doomcock, or Star Wars Theory, because I think Star Wars Theory doesn't put out salacious posts just for the heck of it, right?
Yeah, he rarely dives into background rumor mongering. He's more like, this is what they've said and this is how cool it could be or why it would be good or whatever. And it's more lore focused and actual stuff happening, not a rumor monger like some of them are. But be that as it may, obviously this is ruffled some feathers and
hey Kyle, how's it going?
We'll see how it goes. But it's I think for the most part the future of Star Wars on Disney seems to be a lot brighter than it was a few years ago. yeah there's definitely a lot of that. Then there are some people out there that you're just like, what the crap? Where did you get this?
I know, this is straight out of we've got this covered. It's like, it's like, wait, you didn't any research at all? It's like, I heard, but then again, when everybody's saying something, that's smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire kind of situation. So who knows? I think it'd be let's look at the track record. Let's look at the track record side by side. Who you think Disney wants to lead Star Wars into the future, right? What have they had success with, right?
Yeah.
So the one movie that had the most, that Kathleen Kennedy had the most success with was Rogue One. which she had the least amount of input in. Right?
I don't think Disney looks at it that way.
No?
To be perfectly honest. Kathleen Kennedy has a lot of background power. She knows all the right people. She's been around forever. She is very established, and they're not going to do anything that would look bad for her. That is why I think most people thought when she got a 2-year contract extension that was Disney going, we're going to let you exit gracefully. There's not going to be, we're not going to call you out for failures or anything like that. And I bet that's where this whole release will, like her wanting Jon Favreau to take over. Now it seems like she is doing succession planning.
Right.
She had something, do with it.
I didn't buy that announcement one bit when she was like, oh yeah, they're good friends in the back, and there's no infighting, and she wants him to take over when she's gone. I'm like, really? All right.
Yeah.
But I will say this: that they wanted to give her the High Republic, right? That's why they extended her the 2-year contract so she could launch her High Republic projects.
Yeah.
That she, with all her. So, but if she's, if Jon Favreau takes over when she's gone, I will be pretty excited about that, I think. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just my opinion on it, but oh well.
Now let's move on to a different universe.
Yeah.
And some more controversy.
Yeah. All right. Did HBO put the final nail in the coffin of the Winds of Winter book from George R. Martin that we've been waiting since before the TV series, which is hitting their 10-year anniversary of the first?
Let's put it this way. He has put out one book in the last 20 years. And it
that sounds even worse when you put it that way. Yeah.
And I kind of disagree with your first sentence here, but you go ahead and you all
right, I will say this. George R. Martin, whose writing talent is exceeded only by his ability to procrastinate, he's been offered a 5-year distraction, a 5-year deal to develop 5 new Games of Thrones projects on HBO. And why? Because Games of Thrones was the largest television series ever, and a cash cow for HBO while it was on, and they want to rekindle that magic instead of moving on to something else. So he's yet to finish this book that's supposedly been coming out for the last 5 years, and now he's got a 5-year deal to develop 5 more projects. So he's not going to finish this book. This book's mostly finished. Okay, I'm not going to say we never will. We may see Winds of Winter, but A Dream of Spring, I don't think will ever happen.
Yeah. Well, I was slightly
wrong.
wrong. He's put out one book in the last 15 years.
There you go.
It's been 16 years since the book before the last one.
Wow. Yeah. So, so what do you think, Doug? You think this is going to distract him?
Oh yeah, he's given up. I firmly believe he wrote himself into a corner that he can't get out of, and I think he's just cashing in.
And I agree. All right, screw. Welcome, guys. By the way, that's another Reactor channel. They're awesome. They can't count on David and Dan to do it. Absolutely. Those guys fumbled They fumbled season 8 so bad they lost their Star Wars project that they were working on.
Yeah.
So with the fallout from that. So yeah,
here's something else. Here's something else to keep in mind. That overweight bastard is 73 years old.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I give it a 90% chance that another book does not come out, and a 99% chance that he does not finish the series.
He's putting out wildcard books. He's got a new wildcard book coming out. Or a Conan project, or
he doesn't write all those. He edits this kind of a shared universe with other authors, so he may not actually be writing those.
Yeah.
At this point, he's padding his estate.
Yeah. Winds of Winter may come out because I guess it's mostly finished. But I said, I don't think A Dream of Spring. I think A Dream of Spring is a dream. I don't think that's ever going to happen. He's going to, they better get Brandon Sanders on the phone right now to come finish this series, like he did Wheel of Time. Because, if we want to see it,
because
although Brandon Sanders, I like Brandon Sanders, but he can't write like.
No, and I don't think he would. I don't.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a relatively devout Mormon. I don't think he'd go in for writing a series like this.
Probably not.
Yeah, so
what is distracting? What are we getting instead of the next Winds of Winter book? What series are they looking at HBO here? All right. I think one of these projects I'm excited. I won't say excited. One of these projects I'm looking. I would actually watch. The rest of them kind of like, I don't know. They'd have to show me something before I commit. And right now, that's we'll see. The first one is Nymeria, about the Queen Nymeria who founded Dorne,
and that's the Southern Lands, right?
Yeah,
where the Viper's from.
Yeah, and that's who I think. Yeah, Nymeria. She's mentioned throughout the books, right? As a legend, kind of thing. So, there's not a whole lot known about her. Although Arya named her wolf after her.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. The next series is the Sea Snake. It's going to be a Voyages of Sinbad type series with Lord Corlys Veleron. So a ship based him sailing around. I'm like, probably the least anticipated one, Flea Bottom. Described as Peaky Blinders in Westeros is what it's described as. I guess I can't imagine what that would be about. I mean, just
what we need of comedy set in Westeros.
Yeah, I was like, we'll see. Then the one I'm actually interested in, although I can't say excited about, is Dunk and Egg, which is based on the Hedge Knight series, another unfinished series by Martin. So, but Dunk and Egg are great characters, though. So Sir Duncan the Tall and Aegon. It's about what? It's like 100 years before the normal story in Westeros, but those books are good. Those characters are awesome. And then the fifth one is an animated drama series, and nothing's known about that one, other than it's a drama series and it's animated. So,
because those two always go really well together.
They can, I guess, but I would rather have Winds of Winter than any of these. I don't know. It's another book series that I'm never going to get to finish, right? I mean,
yeah. Or it's going to be half-ass run through just to get it done.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I don't know if I can handle that. I mean, let's see what the series that were the only series that got finished was the Dark Tower series, and Stephen King had to get hit by a van and almost died before he realized, I got to finish this. My legacy will be this unfinished masterpiece.
And is it really finished?
It ended. It ended. But yeah, and then Wheel of Time, of course.
Brandon Sanderson did a pretty good job.
He did a really good job, and thankfully,
except for the second half of the last book.
Yeah, well, but luckily Robert Jordan, unlike Martin, knew where he was going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had it all laid out. That's where Martin's all like, he knows how he wants it to end, but there is so many plot points that are just in the books that weren't even in the series that are just kind of dropped. Like literally in the books, Jon Snow is still dead. Right.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's what we have for you. We're gonna jump into normally what Kristen would do here, the Weeb World. I keep that in here just for the excuse for to have that still.
Am I doing this or are you doing it?
Yeah, you go ahead, Doug.
All right. Netflix is adapting a live-action Gundam movie.
Woo!
Those always work out really well.
Yeah.
Jordan Voight Roberts, I think that's how you say Voight Roberts, Kong Skull Island is attached to direct. And Brian K. Vaughan of Why the Last Man and Saga on board as screenwriter, which, okay.
And he's executive producer, too. So,
that's helpful.
Yeah.
And I guess if you look at, again, what is it? Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
You have giant mobile mech suits
this is legendary.
Be done pretty cool, nowadays with our technology. So
this is Legendary that owns this. So they own Pacific Rim. I think there's kind of, everybody dreaming of a crossover, though. I'm pretty sure they're dropping Pacific Rim to focus on an established mech universe.
Yeah. So
I mean, Gundam's cool if they can do it. I mean, do it justice. I mean, it's going to be Netflix, right? So they've got some interesting talent attached to it. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, this beats the like as Kirsten says, the curse of going live action with anime.
Yeah.
See if it works, but I mean, I don't know. I'm excited. I will see it just because I like Gundam, so I'll see it just for that. But anyway, that's what we have for our Weeb World news here, our anime stuff. So let's jump in to a new section. We have, rumor time. Psst, rumor time.
It is the first time I've seen that. So
that turned out a little creepier than I imagined, but all right, yeah. All right, guys. So there's a lot of stories out there. Like Doug said, a lot of these sites have a whole bunch of, off the wall kind of stories. So we kind of wrap up some of these, take 3 or 4 of them, and then we thanks RH Crew. We love it. We're going to rate them on a 1 to 5 on how likely we think these are, right? 1 being it'll never happen, 5 being almost assuredly will happen. So I'll kick off with the first one. According to that hashtag show, a Wolverine anthology series is in early development at Disney Plus, where Marvel said they feel an anthology series will allow them to introduce the character to the MCU while giving them freedom to explore Wolverine's vast history without affecting any role he might have in X-Men films, right? So I think an anthology Wolverine series would be awesome, right? Because they go through his long life, a World War II story. Right. They could have, all these different stories in there. I mean, but they'd have to cast the Wolverine for the MCU for this. And I don't know if Disney Plus would be the first place they'd want to premiere a Wolverine. So I have this at a 3 as far as likelihood, just because it's the hashtag show. If putting it out there, and they're not, we got this covered. So, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, I think I want this to happen more than I believe it will. So.
Okay. If we take the rumor at face value, I would say it's probably a 4 that it is in early development. Whether it makes it past it, whether they go through and start putting stuff together and go, yeah, we're going to do this. This is going to be the way we introduce the character versus, nah, we're going to put him in a movie first.
Yeah.
Is way less likely. I think it's a 1 that we get Wolverine first on the small screen before the big screen.
Yeah, I agree. If this is going to happen, it's going to happen.
But I believe there are people throwing stuff around in a room, kind of sketching out ideas and going, wouldn't this be cool? Wouldn't this be cool?
Yeah.
And who knows? It could be one of those things that we're developing an anthology series, but it's not how we're introducing him.
Yeah. If it happens, I believe it'll happen after his big screen debut.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's kind of like a follow-up to it. So, all right. What's our what do you rank this? What was your in?
Well, I ranked 2 different aspects. I think it is very likely a 4 that it is being developed. Something is being developed. I just don't think it's where he will first appear.
Got it. Fair enough. All right. So what you can go ahead and take our second rumor there.
I do want to related to that Wolverine story. I hope they find somebody to play Wolverine who is willing to go all in on him, and they're like, look, we want to nail you down for multiple movies, like Nick Fury, multiple movies,
right?
And series and a TV show. In fact, this is what we want to pay you to be Wolverine forever. Do nothing else.
Well, like
always
Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman played him for like what, 12 years, 15 years? What is it?
Yeah, but he was in like movies every 4 years or 5 years versus, you're going to be in at least one Marvel movie every year, and you're going to have an anthology series every year or every other year or something. I want somebody who's dedicated to being Wolverine.
You got to show up in this movie and have the Hulk punch you. All right. Good. Now, next movie, you got to show up in this movie.
All right, so here's our next story. Keanu Reeves to play King Valar of Exegol in multiple Star Wars projects, including animation. The ancient Sith is said to be alive in the body of a Knight of the Old Republic character's body. Revan? ?
Right. The reason why they throw that out there is because everybody wants Keanu Reeves to play Revan.
Yeah.
In live action, and if this rumor is true, the King Valar of Exegol. King of Exegol was an ancient Sith, and he's basically co-opted a body. And they said the rumor is he's co-opted the body of a familiar character from the Knights of the Old Republic game. Which, if that part of it is true, it's got to be Revan. That's the reason. Who else would they have?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Knights of the Old. Yeah, I don't know.
See, here's the thing. As far as this one goes, I know the facts are Keanu Reeves is talking to Lucasfilm about a part in a Star Wars film or a Star Wars project, right? As far as this part of it, I have no idea. I ranked it as a 2 in possibility just because it seems a little far-fetched, right?
Yeah.
As presented.
Right. I really hope that this is untrue because it sounds dumb.
It sounds dumb. Fair enough.
Stop trying to make your own unique crap and just go to Korriban and just bring Exar Kun or Brevin or somebody. There's plenty out there. You don't need to make up stuff to shoehorn into. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And why, if he is going to play Revan like that, or be in the Revan body of Revan, I'd just rather have him play Revan.
Right.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying. Seems like a roundabout way to get Revan into the
without the other problem you run into is, then you're essentially making him freaking Valkorian / guy space on all his other names right now. The Emperor.
The Emperor, the old Sith, the ancient Sith Emperor.
The ancient Sith Emperor, because he's in that time. So why would you make another person who can inhabit other people's bodies existing in the same time period?
Just make him Valkorian.
Yeah, either make him Valkorian.
Yeah.
I don't know. This
and for those of you listening on and wondering who these names are that we're throwing out there, it's deep nerd lore. This is the knowledge I'm telling you we're throwing at you here, the nerd knowledge.
Yeah, check out the Knights of the Old Republic or all the Old Republic stuff.
All the Old Republic, yeah.
Including the current
KOTOR and SWOTOR.
Yeah.
All right, so I gave this a 2. What are you going to rank this as far as?
I think that's likely. That's likely. I want it to be a 1, but 2 is fair.
It sounds dumb enough to be true. All right, fair enough. All right, for our last rumor of the night, we've got after the success of the Snyder Cut, people want J.J. Abrams' cut of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and Abrams supposedly has a 4-hour version of the movie I kind of split this in two. I gave it did what you did, Doug. I gave it a 3, as in likelihood that the rumor is true that that they want that and he has a 4-hour cut, and a 1 that it would actually happen.
Yeah.
So,
and here, I don't understand why people want that.
Yeah, exactly.
There is not going to be a tonal difference in the movie. It's just going to be 2 hours.
Yeah. Do you want 2 more hours of The Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah. The problem wasn't not enough time to accomplish what they're doing. It was the vision that was being carried out.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
and I can't even if you gave him 2 more hours to kind of right all of the wrongs of the previous movie for those of us who don't like the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
It's
no, if you give him 100,
yeah,
you give him $200 million to redo the Last Jedi. No. No, I think Lucasfilm wants to get as far away from those movies. They want to move on from them.
Yeah,
and focus on Star Wars that works, right?
Right. Yeah, I think they're just gonna set it to the side. Not, I 100% do not believe they will ever retcon him out of existence, but they will push them to the side and ignore them as much as possible.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. All right, folks. That does it for our normal stories here. Time to move on to our smaller stories, our geek bites, our nerd nuggets. It's Doug's favorite part of the show, the nerd nuggets time. Doug, you want to take that first one?
Sure. Lord of the Rings, the Amazon series, is the most expensive TV show ever made for just 1 season. Amazon is going to spend about $465 million in season 1 alone.
Crazy number.
That is more than Endgame cost.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones spent $180 million on its last 2 seasons, which, to be fair, was really 1 season cut in 2. So, more than double the price tag. So, yeah.
Wow, that is a big investment there. They're banking on Lord of the Rings, man. I mean,
yeah.
This is a property that was hot 20 years ago, right? Does it still have the juice to, support a price tag like that? I mean, because it's also hard too, because you can't really rate that. Like, it's not a movie. Like, if it was a movie, right? A new Lord of the Rings movie would make that back in the theaters, right? But how do you rank this on like a stream? You gotta base it on people, subscribing to Amazon Prime, right?
Right. Yeah, because you have to convert Amazon Prime subscribers. What I don't understand is why they spend this amount of money on anything.
Yeah,
because unless they're planning on eventually spinning Amazon, the streaming service, off of Prime,
the
from the shipping and stuff.
Yeah.
Why do you need to spend this kind of money to pull people in? People theoretically, if they're going to spring for Prime, they do it because they order from Amazon and go, oh wow, and you get TV for free too? Sweet.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I have it. I'm like, oh, there's actually movies and stuff on this, on my shipping.
Yeah, when I had it. So what I suspect will happen is that Amazon streaming will go the way of Audible, and it will be a separate service. That's why you need a $465 million. You get people in. So this will not happen before this show comes out. You get people in with all of this original content. You get them a season in or something like that, and then you go, "Hey, we're spinning it off. It's going to be like Audible and blah blah blah," or Netflix or any other streaming service,
or do like a premium thing where you got to pay for each of the shows. right? If you want the series, Amazon, the Lord of the Rings series, you got to pay this much or whatever. But
yeah, I don't know that was you go, hey, I don't know.
I don't think Lord of the Rings series on Amazon is going to be anything but a loss leader for them to get people in. But that's a heavy price tag to pay for a loss leader.
Yeah.
Because you got to think it's not going to be nearly as popular as Game of Thrones season 8 was, right? Or season 7 and 8, and cost double the amount of those 2 seasons. So.
Yeah, but you're not aiming for Game of Thrones 7 and 8. You're aiming to be as popular as Game of Thrones season 1.
Right.
So that season 2
by the way,
will be.
They spent $100 million on season 1.
Yeah.
Which at the time was the most amount for any season.
Yeah. So that's, we'll see.
Okay. All right. Moving on to our next nerd nugget. Looks like Disney is in a legal fight for their newly acquired Predator property. Jim and John Thomas, the brothers who wrote Predator back in 1987, filed a lawsuit against Disney in the hopes of regaining rights to the sci-fi franchise. The trade explains that the brothers are seeking to exploit copyright law termination provision, which allows authors to cancel transferring after waiting a period of time, typically 35 years for newer works. Disney had plans for a reboot with Don Trachtenberg from 10 Cloverfield Lane to helm a new Predator reboot. And, they had big plans for Predator as one of the main properties that they were planning on, that they acquired from Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So now the original writers are claiming, well, time's up. We've wrote it this so far in the past that now we want the rights back to it after Disney paid to the nose for Fox. And I'm not saying, and it's really, you can't even really put a price tag on that particular value because it was so much they got from Fox, but it was one of the major things that they were looking for, one of the major properties they're acquiring.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they had plans for it.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Predator's time is coming and gone. I think what Predator 2 and all of the Aliens versus Predator movies have shown is Predator succeeded from a unique concept with Arnold.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, there hasn't been as successful Predator since the first one, right?
Yeah.
But, it's not as popular as like the Alien, but it's still, I mean, I don't know. I think these guys have a fight on their hands. Usually when somebody goes up against a big network, usually the network comes out ahead in these lawsuits, right? It's just a matter of, does Disney pay them off to get them, to move forward on their projects instead of, being drugged to the court, or they wait it out in court?
Yeah, I don't
know. I have a feeling this will be picked up or be finished out of court.
Oh, yeah.
But all right.
New Kickstarter campaign for X-Men or Marvel United X-Men board game has not only went live on Kickstarter, it's already been fully funded. And I actually just checked it out just a second ago. It's up to 1.6 million.
Holy crap. Yeah, because it's funded in 10 minutes, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, their new Kickstarter board game fully funded its 300,000 goal within 10 minutes of the campaign launching.
Yeah,
and I don't know anything about these Marvel United games, but I hate that art style. So I don't care.
you're like it's kind of like chibi-esque kind of.
Yeah, I don't. Not interested.
It's Simon, right? It's Cool Mini or Not doing this.
Yeah, I think so. Let me
look
it back up again. Yeah.
Cool Mini or Not. They make good board games, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and
Cool Mini or Not.
It's funny from a company called Cool Mini or Not. It does have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 minis. It looks like, and they're decent for what they are. But I don't like cartoony. But I don't like what they are. So
they're kind of cartoony figures, but But I thought it was out there. A Marvel game went out on Kickstarter. Of course, Cool Mini or not, all their game Kickstarters like fund pretty quickly. I mean, this was faster than any of the other ones, but because you combine Cool Mini or not with Marvel and the X-Men, I mean, it makes sense.
In a related note, I won't go too much into it. Did you see that Sentinels of the Multiverse is coming out with the new definitive edition?
No, I've not seen that.
Yeah, they've kind of reworked they're reworking the rules and kind of redoing the art for stuff, and yeah, so it's a whole big thing. After we got that giant box.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, we got the what was it called? That was like it's just a massive box for this game. It's just you have it in your room there. I figured I'd put that on the wall.
It is not something that you can't mount it on the wall. It's way too heavy.
But it's got everything they put out, plus all the limited edition characters. This is a card game based on superheroes. It's an awesome game. But yeah, definitive edition.
The definitive edition.
What's it have that ours doesn't have? Because I can't imagine.
It basically what they've done is they've just kind of rejiggered the rules a little bit. It's new art for all of the characters. All of the villains come with the cards like they did on the team game.
Yeah.
And they've redone some of the cards that, they have different keywords and stuff like that. So it just, what they said in their post was, we put this game out like 10 years ago, and a lot of other games in 10 years have put out subsequent editions where they've improved rules and stuff like that. And we figured, hey, why don't we take a look at doing that? And they've kind of rewritten some of the rules to take in those, things they've learned in the course of making the game. So basically they're starting over from the beginning with 12 heroes and 6 villains, and presumably everything will. But the nice thing they did was they put out a conversion guide going.
I was going to say, is it backward compatible?
If you want to play the new way to play with your old cards, you can use this guide to do so.
Oh, man.
So
they Magic the Gathering us. Now I don't want to be tempted by it, but I am tempted now.
Man, I looked at it and I was like, it's not enough because you've got
enough. Right.
It's $50 to get the new box set that comes out with basically what the intro stuff was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, not when we've got this giant box not when we've got this giant box of the original game and all of the stuff that came out with it, and we don't really play it. And there's a computer version of it that you can play solo that they hinted will be updated to the definitive edition.
So you can play it online.
You might in the future be able to play it online. So we will have to wait and see.
Fair enough.
But hey.
All right.
Hit us with that last story.
All right. Our last story for the night. We haven't seen a whole lot from the new G.I. Joe Snake Eyes movie that's coming out this summer, except other than it being moved up this summer to come out. So we're super excited about that. We haven't really seen any images, but we're going to sneak peek at what some of these characters are going to look like thanks to Hasbro and their new toys. And I'm going to share the screen here, take a look at some of these action figures.
Sweet.
They look awesome. I mean, look at this Snake Eyes action figure.
I didn't read the article. Does the helmet come off, or are they two different versions of the character?
There's two different versions. There's one with the helmet without. So this is with, right? Look at the articulation on that.
Yeah.
And here he is without the helmet.
Yeah.
So, and then we get a look at this new character who is not part of the G.I. Joe, but she's in the movie. I forget what her name is.
Akiko, I think.
Akiko, yeah, something like that. And then we got a look at the Baroness. I'm hoping she has glasses. The Baroness needs to have glasses. But that looks pretty accurate. Sans glasses.
Oh, yeah.
And then look at Scarlet, who looks, straight out of the comics.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as this movie looking comic book or action figure accurate, if these are any indication of what they're going to look like in the movie, which they should, because these are the official figures. Yeah,
they look
very close.
Freaking awesome.
And then, of course, Storm Shadow.
Did they say how much those action figures are going to cost?
I don't know. They did not say. I don't think they said in this.
Because man,
yeah,
those look pretty amazing.
They do.
At the very least, I would get Snake Eyes and Scarlet.
Yeah, Snake Eyes and Scarlet. I don't know comparing this. And Storm Shadow. I got to get Storm Shadow. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, they all look pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah. I mean.
But I always loved the Snake Eyes Scarlet story in the comics.
Yeah.
Because in the cartoon, they always made it out to Duke and Scarlet were kind of a thing. But in the comics, it was Snake Eyes and
Scarlet. Yeah. Exactly. But he's got all the detail in there. Look, he's got the visor. Yeah. He's got the symbol on the shoulder.
That's just that is some amazing work right there. Whoever sculpted that is incredible.
It is pretty awesome. And my wallet's not going to think it's awesome, but those figures will look awesome on my shelf. I can tell you what.
Yeah.
So there you have it, folks. The new action figures for Snake Eyes. I'm more excited. The action figures got me more excited for the movie now. All right. I was kind of like so on the movie. I'm like, okay, another G.I. Joe movie. And then now I'm like, I don't know. That looks pretty good. The Snake Eyes look pretty good. They look closer to the actual characters than any of the other movies.
Yeah.
Did. So super excited about that. But all right, guys, thank you very much for joining us tonight for our look at Week in Geek, our weekly nerd news.
Yeah.
We are getting back in the swing of things after taking a break off there, guys. So I know there's been people asking me where's the podcast from, for those of you listening to us out there on Stitcher or wherever you get the podcast. These will be up, starting with this one. We'll be back on track the Monday after the Friday we do it live. So usually I say Monday. It's usually Sunday morning they'll be up out there. But by Monday, definitely they'll be up there. Going forward, some of our other stuff that we were working on, we're doing Falcon the Winter Soldier every Friday reaction. I know there's a couple of those videos are behind because that is for some reason is a really difficult video to get approved on on YouTube. So every time one gets copyrighted, we got to re-edit it and then re-upload it and then wait to see if it gets claimed and then go through the same process.
Right.
But I have two that are finally ready to go. We're gonna the next two, and then one we just filmed tonight, which will be up next week sometime, guys. So look forward to that. Yeah. And after Falcon Winter Soldier ends, we'll be doing the same thing with Bad Batch. And now that Ruby is over, we're getting together and doing Ruby AMVs again. So that's a lot of fun. You can join us for that. If you have a Ruby AMV you want us to react to, send us a message, let us know. We take all that into consideration. If you do AMVs yourself and you want us to judge you, feel free to let us know. We'll be happy to judge you. I think we should get some little scorecards to hold up every time we do them. But thanks, guys. And thank you for everybody who's come and helped us grow the channel. We've seen a huge influx of subscribers, and we really appreciate it. We want to keep that going. Also, check out our other channel, the Grizzled War Master, if you're into gaming of any night. RHQ, thank you very much. You have a good night, too. Our gaming channel, the Grizzled War Master, will be linked down below for that as well. Mm-hmm. And the thing you can do, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't. We really appreciate it. But if you want to support the channel and the things that we do here, Doug, what are the links down below they can click on?
Yeah, well, the two best ones are to check us out on Teespring and check out our merch. We got some masks, we've got some Ruby inspired merch, we got stuff for the podcast. Hopefully we'll be getting back to getting some stuff up on Patreon. It's been a little hard to get that in over the pandemic when we haven't had much extra time to film and can't get together to do that kind of stuff. But we'll be getting back to that at some point. But click on that Amazon affiliate link before you do your shopping, and that is the easiest way to support us because it doesn't cost you anything extra. We get a kickback, and you're going to shop at Amazon anyways, so why not help us out while you're doing it?
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.